cultures have codes that they try and live by. And I did the codes from the Rangers and the Marine Corps and the SEAL teams and the code of Bushido and the code of chivalry. And there's a reason that those codes existed. And the code that I wrote in there for the Way of the Warrior Kid is a kid's code, but the book encourages kids to make their own code. And this book does the same thing. But, this gives you a place to start. So we came up with the general categories to evaluate your progress towards this code. And then the last part is about the protocols. And again, this was just another thing that kind of came out of the podcast of me talking about protocols. And I think the first time I talked about we need a protocol, people need a protocol, was you break up with your girlfriend. And I went on this thing and I said, here's the protocol. You order a pizza, you get extra cheese and sausage. You take 2 days of being miserable. You complain about it to your friends. And then you get up, you work out, you move on. Here's the protocol that you follow. And a bunch of people were saying, yes, we need a protocol. And I've also talked about the protocols, the fact that in America, since we have so many different cultures all mixed together, we don't really have a good protocol anymore for death. And so when someone dies, in some places in the world, I always think of Ireland, they have a protocol. You're gonna go to this pub, you're gonna go to this wake, you're gonna perform this religious service, you're gonna do this. They go through that protocol and then they move on. And different religions have that, but in America, everyone kind of consolidated together, we lost some of that. And so there's sometimes people don't know what the protocol is when someone dies. So there's another situation where something happens and it would be really good if you could follow a protocol. So we added some protocols to get people through certain scenarios. So, what did I miss, Dave?
No, that's it, man. I mean, when we first did the podcast, I think we had the sense that we were just kind of replicate that. And as we started to really dig into what this looked like, we realized we need to have something else in it. That's where the protocols really came from. Is this sort of tells you what you can be, but we realized there's a whole bunch of things you have to do. And it was pretty cool. Look, there's no way it should have taken me this long. But we did figure out along the way there was more needed to go into that. We needed to write a code, and we needed to figure out what some of those protocols are to help people understand the things they needed to do. So here we are.
Anyways, here we go. The book. Let's go to the book. The book is called The Code, The Evaluation, The Protocols. Striving to become an eminently qualified human. And the whole book is less than 100 pages and not a ton of writing. Not needed. The code, here we go. Without an objective, the objective will not be reached. Without a goal, the goal will not be achieved. Without a standard, the standard will not be met. Without a mission, the mission cannot be accomplished. Without an ideal, the ideal will never be realized. Without a clear path, the path cannot be followed. Now that's pretty simple and straightforward, but how many people do you know that are going through life without an objective, without a goal, without a standard, without a mission, without an ideal, and without a path? Right? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.